What a pile. I am going to make some toaster sweaters today because it's a little rainy and I thought it would be fun. So I dug out all of my knit material and I'm going to go ahead and alter my favorite toaster sweater pattern a couple of different ways. So here it is, the Sew House 7. I'm wearing it now. It's got, the first version has raglan sleeves, the second version has regular sleeves. I'm gonna make both versions with some different hacks. And if you're interested in making your toaster sweaters a little bit extra, why don't you follow along? So this first hack, I'm gonna add 4 inches to the front of the shirt right here. So instead of having a neckline like this, I'm gonna gather it in about 4 inches. Let me show you. So my first hack, the 4-inch hack, is already cut out. And the reason I call it that is because this is the back panel. You can see I have added 4 inches here and also here. Now, actually this 4 inches is double because the pattern is folded over. But the reason I did that is because I want to create extra gathering around the neckline. And I'll show you the front piece. I've already cut this out as well. Here at the top, you can see what I did. So I gathered that extra material and put in a pleat at the top. I just folded it over, make sure that the neckline still is the same as the pattern because you still have to get your turtleneck collar on there. See, it fits nicely. And what I'm gonna do is I'll just base this across the top so that I get a nice fun pleat at the top of my shirt. And then at the bottom, I'll have that extra fabric. I'll just gather that right into the waistband. So that'll give this pattern a little bit of extra depth. This is the neckband. I didn't have enough material. I wanted to add more, but I still added 1 inch to the neckband. And then to the waistbands, I added about 4 inches as well. So this gets folded over. My waistband is going to be thicker too, and I thought that would be fun. The last adjustment I did was to the sleeve. With the sleeve, I added extra length. So it's actually the same length, but I added extra fabric right here and here. And what that is going to do is give me some more gatherings on the side. So that's going to be a fun addition hack to this pattern. Let's see how it works out because I haven't tried this before. I'm happy with the results so far, mostly because this sweater material is so soft. But so we have the pleat in the front. I like how that looks. And the collar, maybe it's a 1/2 inch longer than in the pattern. I like that too. I have to take out some stitching here, so it looks a little bit weird right now. The sleeves, I added that length right here. And I think that's going to look really cute when I put the cuffs on. So my next 2 steps are to put on the waistband, which I have to gather up that extra fabric into, and the cuffs. So let's go, almost done. It's time to gather the top of the sweater into the band. All I did was I put in a gathering stitch or a basting stitch all the way across from end to end. And all you have to do is match that up to your band to make sure you get the right size. Just kind of feather it across. I did not do this with my machine. I just did it really loosely by hand. All right, so you have some nice gathers in. Then all you do is match up the middles and the sides. Well, you flip it over this way. You match the middles and the sides. You're done with the waistband. And then all you have to do, the same thing on the cuffs. So here we are, we're done. And I don't think I like all this extra fabric in the front of the garment. I just feel like it looks too baggy. I prefer the straight look of the original pattern. So next time, I don't think I'm gonna put any gathers here. Would you agree? I do like the sleeves. I like how the sleeves gather at the bottom. I think that extra width really gave them a little more fun look. Although I still could taper the sleeves off a bit here to make the fullness just below the elbow or something like that. So I do want to make another one more raglan with 2 different colors. So this is what I'm going to do next. I am going to use this salmon and this mustard, probably the mustard in the middle and the salmon for the sleeves. Let's go cut it out. This is why I have cat hair over everything. Here is the basic way I transform my sleeve pattern. I don't bother with tracing paper or anything like that. All I do is chalk out what I want to do. And in this case, I want to add a little bit of a flare just at the bottom of the sleeve, the bottom 6 inches. So I came out right at this line. I just like choosing a line on the pattern. This happens to be the lengthen or shorten line, but that doesn't really matter. It just gives me a good frame of reference. So I've shot down here 9 inches across 6 inches and the same on the other side. So I will gather this together. So hopefully this will work. And if not, that's why I'm here, just to try. All right, here's the neckband. I decided to go out 3 inches, which is really 1.5 inches because I like the way that looked on the other garment. If you're interested to know how I mark my fabric, I use these little chalk things. They're great. I think they work really well. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this. Here are the final cutting results. That's the front, the back, the sleeve, the neckband, the front band, the back band, and the cuff. Love how these colors go together. The next step is to sew this to the back, the sleeve to the back, and the sleeve to the front, just on top. Now I have a whole video on making this pattern. I'll link it right here, but I'm not going to go through that right now. Wow, look at those colors. This is so cool. All right, you can see the seams are done for the arms. These are the sleeves. This is the collar. Next up, fold it over for the rest. See that? Now we sew together. Woo! And then the bottom band and the cuffs. I am done! I am done! Yes, color blocking works really well. I love it, especially in the raglan. When I first put these 2 fabrics together, I didn't think they'd match so well. But I didn't have a lot of choices, and I think out of the fabrics I had, these did match really well. You can see that extra little puff at the bottom of the sleeve just added a wee bit of difference in the original pattern. Also, the neck, I made it 1.5 inches longer, and I think that worked out as well too. Not a total tight turtleneck, I kind of don't like those sometimes, but just enough to have it loosely hang around my neck. Love it. So what I'm going to do next is one more. I want to try that other pattern, this one, out of this material. This is a bit thicker, and I think it'll be better with that. And see how it has these stripes? Isn't that beautiful? I also want to add pockets, because I think this pattern will be easier to put pockets on than this would have been. So let's go ahead and try that. This one only has 3 pattern pieces, so I thought it was going to be easy, right? Sleeves, front, back. But then if you look closer, what the heck is this? You have to fold in the neckline, and then down here, what's that? All right, I know this is a slit, so there's a slit on the side. I think I can manage that, and this will be interesting to figure out. And this is what it looks like all cut out. Let me go read some instructions. So remember that strange shape? All you do is you press it down like that. It's making more sense now. See, it's gonna be the collar. So that's how it looks from the right side. That is very cool. Time for the sleeve. I've opened up the sweater. That's the front with the clip, and that's the back. Here we go, time to sew under the arm. These patterns are so easy because you don't have to fit in the sleeve. You just sew it in like that and then zoop. I can't put pockets in this, it's too short. Yeah, I'm done. I'm done with toaster sweater number 2 and love this pattern too, especially the sleeves, which is kind of funny because I love the other pattern because the sleeves had more of a poof to them. This pattern I like because they're clingy and really fit my arm, and I didn't realize how comfortable that would be. I like having something around my arm that's soft and stretchy. Love that. I love the sleeves on this. And the slit here was actually pretty easy to do. You just miter your corners, but I think this pattern is a little too short. I really wanted to put pockets in it, and somehow I thought it would be more down here, like about 4 inches longer. And the second thing I don't really like, I sort of like, is the collar. I did a really good job on this side of the collar, but not so good on this side. So you can see this looks much nicer. It's a little finicky the way you have to do it. You have to stitch in the ditch along here. The other thing I don't like it when you put it on, because this facing, they call it, is so short that it sticks out. And so you really have to fiddle around with it. And I'm afraid if I wear it, that's just gonna pop out too much. So what I'm gonna try to do, I'm gonna do this again, make it longer, keep the sleeves, and do a different neckline, maybe even a V-neck. I've got the fabric already laid out. Can you see it? Let's go ahead and cut. This is the front pattern piece. What I decided to do is fold down this funny part of the collar, which I am not going to use. Cut out already up until the lengthen or shorten line. Marked that with a pin, measured 4 inches. That's where I need to drag the pattern down so that matches. And then I will go ahead and cut out the rest, and then I have 4 inches more that way. We have our 4-inch length. I already like it better. Now we need to do step 2 to the front. Remember, I want to put in a different neckline. What I did is I measured on the sweater that I'm wearing. I think I'd like it to start about 4.5 inches. I'm going to use my French curve and pick a nice curve that I like and cut it. I'm not doing a V-neck because I found those a little tricky to face. And there's the new neckline. Let's do the back. Here's the back, 4 inches added already. I've cut it out. Did the same thing to the neckline. Measure in about, I think I did 4.5 inches. And then pick a good back curve. I'm gonna make mine ever so slight. And here are the sleeves. Next step, sew across the shoulder seams, my new shoulder seams. Here's my neckline. Let's go. I made a simple neckband like you would in a t-shirt. I measured my circumference and quartered it. All I have to do is stitch it on. I want to recognize my mistake. I don't know how this happened. Look at this, even up there. Whoa, what did I do? I have 2 choices. To fix this, I can cut along here to make it straight and then make my slits smaller. I'd have to cut there. I think I'm gonna have to do that. Yikes, I got carried away and cut off the vents. It's like getting a bad haircut. I just couldn't figure out how to make them even. Let's sew it together. Version number 4. Now, there are no pockets. I had good intentions with the pockets. I even played around with the pattern. And then I realized with a sweater, I just put my hands in my pant pocket. So I couldn't figure out how to add them without disrupting the look of the sweater, which I really like. So an next idea. Now, I like the collar much better. It's just a simple kind of a sweater collar, and it's more comfortable, plus it's easier to do. And the length I like a lot too. So this version was just a simple 2 tweak, change the collar and the length, and that's it. I really like it. Super easy pattern. And now I am done. Which was your favorite?